Hi guys, I'm just going to make a response video to this comment here from Joe Leys. He says a smaller mountain can cast a shadow on a taller mountain at sunset. Here it is for Mount Everest. I'm also going to play the part of the video that he was talking about, and I'm going to play the one he linked as well. I had to wait for the weather to be right where there was no clouds in the sky to obstruct the light that was coming from the sun. As you can see here, I indicated the direction that I was facing, and if you look, you can actually see the mountain in the background that I'm going to be filming. There's no clouds in the sky, so there's no obstruction. If the sun were truly going down as opposed to away, you should see these shadows climb up to the top of the mountains. Here I show the direction that I was facing. At this point, I'm going to speed the video up a little bit. Also notice the crisp shadow line appearing on the mountain. As the time goes on, this crisp line will fade out. At this point, you can see the light begin to fade. Notice it doesn't climb to the top of the mountain, it stays there and then fades out evenly. The crisp shadow line begins to fade. Also, you'll notice that this mountain in the background, the light fades evenly as well. Just going back here for a minute, I'd like to point out that this tip of this mountain is actually causing this shadow. And if you watch closely, this shadow fades out at the same time as the shadow on the mountain in the foreground. Notice the shadow doesn't climb up the mountain as you would expect it to do if the sun was actually going down as opposed to away. Also, I'd like you to take note of this cemetery that's in the image here. Going back to Google Earth again, I'm looking at my observation point and my target. Take note of all the crisscross lines on this mountain. Also notice there's no large bodies of water nearby. And here's a cemetery that I pointed out earlier. Now here's his video, and we're going to look at the problems that it has. Honestly, I don't know how anyone could possibly get the conclusion that he got after watching my video, but what I want you to notice here is the crisp shadow lines here and here. I want you to keep an eye on those. Also notice that the cloud cover seems to be rolling in. You can see the cloud coverage swirling and undulating. Okay, that's the end of the video. Taking a little bit closer look at this footage here and the shadows that I've indicated, you can clearly see that these shadows are not moving at the same rate as the shadows that appear to be climbing up the mountains. And Joe also makes an assertion that this happens every day. It says, yet it happens every day as the sun goes down. So I'm making a challenge to Joe to film this occurring again. Not the same footage. I want to see it again. And this time I'd like you to pan around before and after the footage is taken to show that there's no clouds obstructing the sunlight. Since it happens every day, it should be an easy thing to film. And in fact, if this happens on the Earth, it should be happening in many other places, not just one. I'll be waiting for that footage, Joe. You let me know when it's done.